Hello and welcome to the very first episode of In Orbit, Mash Those Buttons' official podcast dedicated to Destiny. I am Jarrett, also known as Jawblaze on PSN, and I'm here with Jovan Branch, who's Sage Infinite on PSN,
Yo.
and Jorge Vegija, who is GoToNRG on PSN.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not sure if you listened to the last podcast, but we did a Mashcast Plus where we pretty much tore the Crucible a new one. But
Yes.
but we did it with love though, because we play this game like every goddamn day. So
No question.
if there's anybody who should have tore the Crucible a new one, it was us.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's tough love, man.
It is tough love. They did not listen a bit, not one bit. But we'll get into that. Let's start off the podcast. Let's talk about it's been like a month. This is going to be a monthly podcast, so it has been like a month since the Crucible podcast we did. So let's talk what's happened with you guys over the past month. Sage, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure, man. I've been leveling up a hunter. I only had one Titan before. Now I have a hunter, and I'm going to be leveling up a warlock too. Since I've been doing some raiding recently. And I just been doing bounties and leveling up. That's it, man. Having fun.
Okay. And what about you, Energy?
Well, I've just been staying the course. I mean, I have all three of my characters at 32. I have pretty much every exotic but 2. And I've gotten the Crota Hard raid to a point where I'm very comfortable in helping other people out. Whereas previously I was like, I'll do the hard mode raid on 3 of my characters and that'll be it. But even then, I mean, we'll get into it in the podcast. The hard mode raid is just a weird mess.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, quite a bit's been going on. First off, let's talk about the characters first. My Warlock, which is I consider it my main, I got that up to 31, and I have all of the armor I need to get to 32. Now it's just a matter of getting shards, so I'm actually working on getting my Eris rank up, and I'm kicking myself for not working on those bounties earlier. But those bounties suck, man. It's not my fault. Those bounties blow. So, but I'm trying to get the Eris to rank 4, because I have a shit ton of radiant energies. I can literally use radiant energies as toilet paper because that's how many I have. Okay. So I have a shit ton of radiant energies. I want to get Eris to rank 4 so that I can just transfer those over. I do have my hunter who is now up to 31, and I'm doing raids with her now so that I can get the armor set. Actually, I did the first Crota raid with her on Saturday. That was the first time I raided with her, and I got some boots, so that was good. And my Titan, which is that's my bitch character, pretty much. Like I really only play it when I need to. She's 28 now, and actually, me and Energy were talking about that what is it called? Not the Traveler, but the chick that disappears. What is her name?
Oh, the Stranger.
The Stranger, yeah, the Stranger's gun. If it comes out, because I've destroyed all the Stranger's guns I had because I'm running out of space. Because I'm getting like a shit ton of exotics recently.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes down to it, and that gun turns out to be good for something, I need to get it again. The Titan's the one that's gonna get destroyed. The Titan's the one that's gonna go, so I can replay it, so I can re-roll it, and then get that gun again. So that's what's going on with characters. I got the Thorn. Which, you know what? It was funny because I was like dreading doing the part where you have to get the 500 points of void damage. Yo, I did that shit in one day. One day, I got the 500 points, and then we did the last strike, which was more of a bitch than we thought.
Yeah, it's almost like a Nightfall.
Yes, it's because they have those epic shields. That's why the epic shields were the issue.
It's a trip, man. It's worth it, but it's tough.
It's as difficult as a Nightfall without any burns.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Which makes it even harder, I think.
Right. And then now on top of that, it was so like getting the void damage was so easy. I now have a second thorn bounty, which I completed again in 1 day. So now I just need to do the last part of the raid, or do the last part, which is the strike, and I'll have a second thorn for another character.
Mm-hmm.
I have my other two characters, both the hunter and the titan. They're working on their own invective bounties because I love the invective and I want each character to have one.
Nice. Now for that thorn, you got those on the warlock, and you're just going to transfer them over, right?
Yeah, that's what I do. I've been switching my weapons back and forth. I also got the Soros. Okay,
Oh yeah.
so I got the Soros, and I'm like the cheese master now, pretty much. Only thing I need is the mythical class, and I will be king of all cheese.
You'll be a cheesehead.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I will, because
You'll be Mr. Gouda.
yeah, like that'll be it, because that's the only gun I don't have that's like super cheesy. Well, except the Hawkmoon. The Hawkmoon has recently come up as a huge cheese weapon.
Oh,
Recently.
God.
That thing's been cheese since before cheese existed.
Well, no, in the Crucible, because I'm pretty sure Bungie increased the rate drop for both the Soros and the Hawkmoon, and they did it the same week.
They had to.
Because
They had
that's when we started saying it, dude. And with the Soros, I swear I lied to you not. We had a match where every single person was using the Soros.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
All you heard, every gunshot, was that bop, 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 bop. That's all you heard the whole match.
I will say this, that they have increased the rate of drops for exotics. I mean, earlier this week, like I mentioned, I did the raid on all three of my characters. Every single raid that we did, there were 6 exotic weapon drops. At least 6.
Damn.
And it was getting obscene. It was getting to the point where 2 people were getting 2 exotics per completion of a raid.
Wow,
And I'm like,
that's a lot.
what is this going on over here? I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah, dude. I didn't know about the whole like exotic drop period, but I do know like the Hawkmoon. It seems like they've been dropping more because we've just been seeing so many more people with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the Soros for sure. The Thorn, I don't think it's really been dropping because like I haven't really. I've actually seen less people have been using that and more people using the Hawkmoon now.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Thorn is still an overpowered weapon as it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it's not as OP as Hawkmoon. Hawkmoon is just a different beast altogether.
Well, I think the Thorn is overpowered in a different way, and I don't know. I think you have to be a shooter player to recognize in which way the Thorn is powerful. Oh, not powerful, but it's overpowered. Of course, the dot is a pain in the ass, okay? But the thing about the dot, it only really, in terms of you getting a kill with the dot, I mean, it does suppress somebody's shield coming back, which is a pain in the ass. But the thing about you getting a kill with the dot, you have to get their health down low enough, which means you actually have to hit the person. Okay, so a lot of people use that and say, well, it's a balanced weapon because you actually have to hit the person to do that, and then the dot just kind of wears down. The cheesy part, the overpowered part of that weapon is the crosshair itself. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but that crosshair is actually pretty wide.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if you get somebody's head within the wide crosshair, which isn't hard to do, it will be precision damage.
Yes.
So it's got a wide crosshair because apparently it has like super big bullets, and that's how I've killed so many people like that. Like that's one of the first things I noticed when I started using it on mobs. I'm getting more headshots with the Thorn than any other weapon. That's one of the worst parts about the Thorn.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a. That's why I'm kind of disappointed with some of the raid weapons, the hard mode raid weapon. For example, Word of Crota is not as an effective a hand cannon as people thought it would be.
Yeah, we do have one friend. It isn't the Word of Crota. That's a Void hand cannon, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a terrible gun by any means. It's definitely become my Void primary. I've gotten rid of my Vision of Confluence of Atheon's Epilogue.
Right.
But it's not the gun that everybody thought it would be. As soon as people saw a hand cannon coming from the raid, they were like, oh my god, it's going to replace my what is it, Fatebringer? And no, it kind of hasn't, although it will eventually. But yeah, it's not as overpowered as a hand cannon as people thought it would be.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Like in terms of deaths in the Crucible, it's only a few weapons I see killing me. It's like the Hawk Moon, the Mythal class, somewhat now, and maybe somebody else on another one, and like Soros. Like I don't see that much. Sometimes you get like some bullshit, like the Grim. Like what was the gun that was killing us the other night?
Grim Citizen 3.
Grim Citizen, yeah, it was like Grim Citizen 3 was like we were getting killed by like what the fuck was going on? That's like seeing the Bengals beat the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? That's what that shit is right there. Like how the fuck that isn't killed by Grim Citizen 3?
That's actually a decent auto rifle. That's one that was in the I hate to call it like that, but I mean I almost have to. First generation Destiny that carried over.
That gun is really good. Actually.
It's extremely stable.
It's really good.
It's not as OP as for example, a Suros. I mean, that focus fire is ridiculous by itself. But I mean, if you have no other option, I mean, you might as well go with that and just because its impact is pretty high too for an auto rifle.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that gun is if you don't have a Soros, you can get that, or what's the other one? I think it's Vanquisher 7. I think it is. Well, that's another one.
I have that gun, and I chose to use For the People over it because I was killing way more with For the People. I mean, you can ask Sage. My KD skyrocketed the day I got For the People.
Yeah. I was getting killed with that yesterday. Actually, For the People was anybody who snuck up on me. The dude who had For the People was sneaking up on me, and if he fired first, I mean, even though I had the Soros, like I was pretty much done because the rate of fire is so high.
The rate of fire and the fact that it gets more accurate as you hold the trigger down.
Exactly.
It's like a drill, man. Like you just drill into somebody with that shit. It's awesome.
Exactly.
If it's awesome for cheese, let's make that apparent. Like these guns are cheesy awesome. So, but you know what? That's the thing. Like, well, that's one thing I realized about Destiny. Like, I stopped getting frustrated over the fact that without these guns, a lot of these players would not be able to play well. They wouldn't be getting all these kills. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what?
Right.
Can't beat them. Join them.
Join them.
You know?
That's basically what Destiny is overall. Yeah. It's like, yo, why not? I mean, even the devs seem to look at it that way. Like, okay, let's not tweak this. Let's just give it to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's even the playing field by giving it out to everybody, and then we'll see how they fare. I mean, that's basically what it's been.
Which is why the new update coming out is very interesting.
Absolutely.
Extremely.
Very. Yeah, you are 100% right, and we're gonna get into that. Let's move into our topics for this month. First thing is a bit more about the Crucible, but Bungie, it's funny because people were complaining about the lack of maps and rotation and stuff like that, and to my knowledge, Bungie still has not fixed it so that the Darkness Below maps are part of the normal rotation. Like they have their own 3-map rotation still.
Mm-hmm.
But Bungie,
which is annoying.
Yeah, it's stupid. It
reminds me of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 in the arcades where you only had those 4 levels.
Yeah.
For some for some stupid reason.
Yeah. So Bungie, I guess to kind of quench the thirst of the PvP players, they added skirmish maps to Control on Clash. They added maps that were built for 6 people and put 12 on them.
It's absurd.
It is. It really is. Like, first of all, I don't know a single person who likes the Mercury map, which is the Burning Shrine.
I love that map. Are you kidding me?
I fucking hate that map.
Oh my god, I love that map.
Oh, dude, especially on Control, because this is what you do on Control. Okay, on Control, you take control of the points, especially B, like B, A, and B specifically, right? And then you hang out outside, and you will win. You will win because it is hard shooting inside from outside because the fucking sun is in the background.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
not like a solar flare, not a shiny meteor.
No, you're
The
dealing with the entire
fucking
damn.
sun,
yeah,
dude.
the sun is it's like at either at sunrise or sunset that map is at, and
It
it
doesn't
really
matter
blinds
when you're that close to the
There's no
sun.
sunset.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That sounds like I ain't leaving.
It's frozen. It's frozen.
You're right there. Like you are right there.
You know what? I think the sun caught lag too. That's what I think it is.
Oh, dude. So yeah, like that. It's like the only map I think that's manageable or tolerable is Abyss. Oh, sorry, Abyss. I'm sorry, Asylum.
Asylum, yeah.
I think Asylum is manageable, but like when you go to like Anomaly and you have 12 people on the map, come on, man. Plus, there's a spot in Anomaly where you can stand and see all 3 entrances to the main area.
Oh yeah. I mean, for Clash, I don't really mind them, but Control, it's like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, for Clash, it's a bit better, but for Control, it's out of the question.
I mean, and you know, we love to play Control. Well, we did love to play Control.
Yes.
But,
Damn.
I mean, we still do, but I mean, we've been doing a lot of Clash more because of the rotation and just going out and just not having any objectives to worry about, just going out and killing. Like, I mean, it fits better for these maps and for how the game is balanced now.
That is 100% true, but there's one of the big reasons we can't really play Control anymore because I'm getting tired of playing with dumbasses. I really am. If you're listening to this podcast, right? If I find out that you're listening to this podcast and then we have B and C on Blind Watch and you take A, I'm gonna find you. I'm going to fucking find you. Okay, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna break your fucking PS4 because that shit's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, shout out to Blind Watch. That was our spot right there.
Yeah, that we loved Blind Watch until you start playing with idiots like, like I just don't understand. I don't understand the logic or why people can't catch on. Are you not paying attention? Are you not seeing that when we have B and C, they keep coming from the same locations? Or are you too busy rushing to A and dying, you scrub? Like, what is going on?
I mean, you know what? Almost the way these points are designed on these maps, it's like you can probably think of 2 points on each map that you can capture and pretty much run the game. Right. I would like to see for Control, like when they add new maps, for them to kind of space them out a little bit, just to make it a little tougher. You know what I'm saying, for Control. Because if you get 2, you pretty much got it.
You're 100% right. On every single map, there are 2 points that if you take them, you control. The map that probably has the best spacing is Rusted Lands.
Rusted Lands.
Yeah, Rusted Lands and Twilight Gap have good spacing.
Yeah.
But still not good enough, because if you have like A and B on Twilight Gap, it's harder to keep it than, let's say, B and C on Blind Watch, or like B and C on fucking Shores of Time is ridiculous. B and C on Shores of Time, you can literally, one man can stand in one place and defend both points.
Yeah, like I said, man, when I told you the other day, I went into, I was at that map, and I turned a corner, and I saw 4 lights light up at me. 4 snipers were watching the point. Like that's when you know it's a problem. All they have to do is turn. They just have to rotate, and that's it. You playing both points. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a map design issue. That is a total map design issue. It's like sometimes you're like, did they design this map for Clash or Control? And I can't tell, dude.
Right. You know what the sad part is? I was playing Clash. That's the sad part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the sad part. I saw 4, like, it looked like the map had pimples, man. That's how.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like, but I will say that's the good thing about the Thorn. Like, unless you have a sniper who has a sure shot, you know what I'm saying? They're pretty good. They're usually not going to pluck you if you peek, Like, the one good thing about sniping being easy in Destiny is that inexperienced players will snipe. because they'll have some success at it, but like they're not the type of players that have a twitch shot. Like
Right.
when somebody plays Counter-Strike and they're an AWPer, you can stick your toenail from behind a wall and they will shoot the shit out of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like as soon as they see a change, actually I don't even know if that's a console thing or not because it's a little hard to have those twitch reactions on console.
Yeah.
But on console, like when you see a change in color, you immediately go into like attack mode. You're like a rabbit squirrel. Like, okay, here it is. Like, there's somebody right here. But like, yeah, like so you have those players that are sniping and they're not necessarily the best at it, but they've had some success, so they keep doing it. And so like you could peek back and forth, and you could just keep tapping them with the thorn.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
tap them with the thorn. And that has a lot to do with that that wide crosshair.
Yeah, like a hand cannon against a sniper rifle should not be a fair fight. I mean, I've won shootouts with snipers with the Soros.
Yeah.
So that just lets you know how this balancing is with this game, man. Like, I don't know, man. The hand cannons, I like them, of course, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's just weird to have that type of range on a gun like that. I never would think that in a game that you would have range with basically a revolver.
Well, right. Well, they're gonna be working on that.
Don't get used to that.
Yeah. we're gonna get used to it. But like, you taking credit, like, if you beat out a sniper with a Soros, that sniper deserved to lose.
Oh yeah. I've had so much satisfaction with seeing that light go up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm just gonna go in.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say fuck it all. Just have a shootout. And when you win, that's one of the most satisfying things in the game, when you beat a sniper that's trying to sit and camp in one spot and guard one spot with his rifle, and you just go in and just fuck his whole world up.
Well, yeah, because the thing, snipers, if you are aiming at somebody and they are staying in your view, you have no excuse not to get the kill. Most sniper shots are going to kill in one hit. Okay, especially if you're using something like the icebreaker. You don't.
Oh man,
the snipers may take damage, but it's not like their heads bob around or anything like that when you shoot them. That is a huge complaint of mine. I'm sorry, but any weapon you're using, if you are aiming down the sights and you get hit in the head, it should break your aim.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I completely agree with that.
It should fucking break your aim, and it doesn't. At least before with the impact, if your impact was high enough and you got hit, it will break your aim, or if you're using a fusion rifle, it will break your charge. And that stopped happening. It's actually the reason I stopped using fusion rifles in the Crucible.
Oh man.
But then you notice that fusion rifles made a comeback when that shit stopped happening. People were probably crying about it.
Dude, I mean, I don't know if you saw last night. Like I was going in. That's all I used pretty much for one match. It was a fusion rifle.
Oh,
I
love fusion rifles.
I was going around with that plug one. It wasn't pretty.
Oh yeah, wait, the plug one that shit's like sharp cheese. That's sharp cheddar right there, yo.
It's because its impact is ridiculous,
and the range is ridiculous.
The range is serious. I was going to get what is it? I think I'm gonna get the trolley problem too. I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get that one too. But fusion rifles are just, I mean, they're cool, but if you can master one and really know how to move with it, like you can be, I'm not gonna say unstoppable, but you can control a game.
Yeah.
Because it's one shot. Your charge rate is that's the thing that really matters at the end of the day. Your charge rate and when you choose to shoot it and how you move.
Right.
If you know how to manage that, forget about it. It's over.
Yeah. Or if you know how to trick people with the plan C, like a lot of people still aren't getting that. The fact that if somebody pulls out a plan C, like they were shooting you with a main, and then they pull out a plan C, get the fuck out of the way, because they don't expect for it to charge that fast.
It's instant.
It's instant.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, what just happened? The game's fucking up. Must be lag. They can't believe it. They're in denial.
It's called your dumbass just got shot.
Yeah, it's like, no, get the, like, as soon as I see somebody switch to a plan C, I'm all over the place. It doesn't matter. I'm in the air, I'm sliding on the ground, I'm doing something. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to move the fuck out the way.
Dude, the second I see somebody switch to plan C, I know exactly what my body's about to do. It's about to do a cartwheel in midair.
Oh, man. So
yeah, since we started talking about it a little bit, let's get into the whole thing about the weapon balance, because that's gonna affect everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We might as well just talk about the weapon nerf. So I don't know. Like, I don't know whose decision is at Bungie to do these nerfs or buffs or whatever, but they gotta just be rolling some dice, spinning an arrow, something like that, on how we're gonna handle this balancing situation. Because it's usually always wrong. And it's wrong in this situation. So I guess they did some polling, not necessarily some polling, but they looked at some I guess they did some data from the game, and they find out that people were not using pulse rifles. Okay, and the average response to why they weren't using pulse rifles was because
they're so damn weak.
They're so damn weak. You know, so. Their response was, okay, well, we're going to buff the pulse rifles a little bit, and we're going to nerf everything else.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much buffing it 10%. I think it's, 9.7?
Right, yeah.
But it's virtually 10%. And they're making, I mean, everything else pretty much gets a nerf. I mean, if you think about it, one of the guns that everybody already has a problem with, the freaking Necrochasm, is going to get a 2.5 debuff.
Oh man!
And that for impact,
because it's an auto rifle.
For impact,
it's an auto rifle, and it no longer will have any range from. Well, it'll. Okay, correction. The range is going to play a bigger role now in damage than just impact. So the range slider that they had before was mostly dictated by impact. It wasn't really that important whether or not it was low range or high range.
Right.
Now, whether or not you have high impact is irrelevant. And now you have to look at, well, my range is only from here to here. Otherwise, it takes a 75. I think it's a 75% dip on how much impact it does. So that means hand cannons are especially going to be affected by this, since they don't have as high a range as other weapons, such as your scout rifles or whatnot. Scout rifles didn't get debuffed. Pretty much, they're pretty much staying the same. Fusion rifles, for the most part, didn't get a debuff. Just their cone got a little bit wider.
At range, that's important.
At range.
And that's gonna, like, because there's a lot of, I'm getting so tired of getting killed from a long range with a fucking fusion rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, they act like they got fucking hand cannons. What's the deal? Like, you know?
I hate that, man. When I get one shot at from down the block, that frustrates me.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Like, it's like, yeah, it's bad. It's like, yo, what's that light? And all of a sudden you die. Like, it's yeah, it's bad. So, like, I think guns like the Plug One, they're gonna take a hit. Even like the Plan C, when you put the range on the Plan C, the range is outrageous. Outrageous.
Wait,
you know?
wait. Let's talk about Pocket Infinity. How about that?
Why did you bring that up? I'm shaking. I'm having flashbacks. Yo, Pocket Infinity is fucking ridiculous, man.
Mm-hmm.
The combat. Have you been killed by Pocket Infinity recently?
Multiple times,
dude. The range plus the short fuse time. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Man. It's like, yeah, like it's the only way I have been avoiding dying to that shit is jumping over people. Like, I have to jump when they start charging shit. I don't run left. I don't run right. I jump up and over, like up and forward, because they have trouble looking up because of the console. That's the only thing that you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, fuck yeah, that's the Pocket, man. Pocket, fuck that gun, man. That shit is ridiculous. Yo. I fucking hate Pocket Infinity, and I hate anybody who uses Pocket Infinity.
You know what I feel like? I hate
your mother, Joe.
I feel like with this game, there's a new gun to hate every week.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. Because it's I don't know, man. Like I would like to see this game. I mean, it may sound crazy. I may be bugging. You guys can correct me if I'm bugging. But I would like to see this game kind of balance, like like some of the fighting games. You know what I'm saying? Where certain weapons in the right hands are just ridiculous. Like some weapons, I feel like no matter who has them, they're like you can't win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would like to see like with a fighting game with some character, like somebody steps in. Like if you had Ken or Ryu, and then like somebody got Zangief, you're like, get out of here. I'm gonna just throw. I'm gonna just throw fireballs at him all match, and then he just comes in and just fucks you up. I would like to see that type of shit where your skills really jump out, and people really, have weapons that tailor to their play style more so than the power that the weapon has.
Which is,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
which is what I think the intent of the debuff and the buff for the most part are. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I understand everybody's frustration, especially with what they're doing with auto rifles. I mean, they're taking a gun that's already been debuffed
Yes.
and making them even more debuffed. I mean, think about it. When I mean, we were talking about this. I was talking at least about this in the last podcast. The auto rifles took a major hit in the Dark Below, the DLC. I mean, every single new auto rifle had virtually 0 to no impact.
Right.
And their rate of fires were shot up, while their magazines, for the most part, also went up. Like it's very rare the auto rifle that was not debuffed. I mean, even Suros, the Lord's almighty auto rifle, got some sort of a debuff, and even then, it wasn't enough to take down the almighty Suros.
Hell no, it wasn't.
It definitely wasn't, man.
I mean, so the fact that they're debuffing them somewhat, all guns, is understandable considering how overpowered some were. I understand why people are frustrated that they're debuffing all the guns to make pulse rifles a viable option, but I think it was kind of necessary. I mean, some of them were pretty. I mean, for example, I go in. If I were to go into PvP with an Oversoul Edict, half of those people would laugh at me as they're shooting at me.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know if it's this week or whenever it is, but pretty soon, Oversoul Edict will become a viable option for PvP. So you'll have people who have the old what they wanted with the what is it? What was the name of the pulse rifle in not Destiny, in Halo? Was it assault rifle?
Oh, you mean the battle rifle?
Battle rifle. There we go. Battle rifle was one of everybody's favorite weapons, and in Halo.
Yeah.
And the second that everybody got their hands on the pulse rifle, they were like, "Oh, 3 shots! This must be the battle rifle." And then they were like, "These guns absolutely blow."
Yeah. Well, the thing about the pulse rifles, and I said this from the beginning of the fucking game, is that, I mean, not only should they be more accurate because they're 3-shot bursts, they should absolutely have more impact and be more powerful, but it doesn't feel like that. Or at least I'll put it like this. The impact and power extra that they do have does not compensate for the rate of fire that the actual not pulse rifle, that the auto rifle has. What they should have did is bump up the damage more on the pulse rifle, but take away stability. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when you shoot someone, if you hit them, bop, 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 3 shots, that should probably be enough to take take most of their shield out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Another 3 shots, you hit them again, bam, they're almost dead. And then if you hit them with 1 or 2 more bullets, they should die. But it should be kind of not hard. It shouldn't be hard to do, but it should be challenging to keep it stable.
Right. Right.
And you should have to adjust quickly. Actually, to be honest with you, hand cannons should be the same thing. Between each shot, you should be coming back to, there should be no buffs on hand cannons to stabilize them. And I think that would balance out hand cannons.
Do you remember how hand cannons were during the beta?
No, I never played with a hand cannon in the beta.
Oh my gosh. People were complaining about hand cannons in the beta, not because they were good. They were actually trash. People were like, what is the point of me even bothering with this hand cannon? Right. So Bungie overcompensated for that and made them overly powerful.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand the hand cannons being cannons, but at the same time, there should be no stability between shots. Like, dude, when I got stability on the last word, are you fucking kidding me? That's like it was like having a semi-automatic sniper rifle. That's what that shit was like.
Yeah, the rate of fire on that gun is ridiculous.
Yeah, when I got stability on that, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. Then I got the Thorn, and the Thorn, was cheesy just to begin with, but then I got stability on the Thorn. You shouldn't have that much stability on the hand cannons. You should have to stabilize it yourself, and if you get those shots off, that'll keep me from hitting people. I hit people with the Thorn at the same rate I hit them with the Soros, if not faster.
Right. You know what I feel like? I feel like just playing in PvE, I don't know. I don't really have many complaints about the weapons. I mean, that may sound crazy, just because you're playing against AI, but I feel like if they put the same, some of the same rules with PvP and PvE, it would balance it out, because it's just inconsistency is my biggest problem with the Crucible. Just the inconsistency. Sometimes I can get, good shots, with certain weapons, and other times I'm like, yo, what the fuck just happened? You're like, no way that gun just killed me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it is, man. It's just the complaints come in besides, well, we're going to talk about raids, but
yeah.
The complaints come in most of the time is when we're talking about the Crucible, because, and you know what? You don't know what it is. You don't know if it's the weapon balancing or if it's just the fact that, maybe I wasn't as close to this person as I thought I was. Or maybe he wasn't as close to me as I thought he was. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been killed by shotgun blast where I haven't seen my opponent's animation for his gun to shoot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that right there, just when you just turn around, when you're going head on with a person and you're dead and you don't even shoot their gun, to me that's a problem.
Right. That is a huge problem.
That's a problem.
Right.
Or when I'm shooting at somebody for 5 seconds steadily, unloading the clip, and they're just walking.
Yeah, that shit's gotta stop. And some of these dudes, they gotta be cheating, man. We had that one dude who was on top every game on Saturday. But we were shooting him, we'd kill him, and I'd see, I wouldn't see his health move, but I know I did enough damage to kill this guy. Right. He'd turn around, kill me, and then die a little bit later. That shit was, that shit's gotta stop.
That's that Destiny lag.
That is.
If they could remedy that, I would probably do a couple dances in my house. I would do a couple dances if they could somehow. And you know what? It's the funniest thing to me is because we both had this when we're playing. We're like, is it me lagging? Is it me?
Yeah. Is it my fault? You go from denial to blaming yourself.
See, this is the problem. Bungie is causing insecurities in our gaming, and I don't like that.
Oh, dude, it's terrible. But yeah, these I don't know. I just think they're taking the wrong tech. It's like they're doing they're just going over everything here. A one broad stroke to quote unquote fix this problem, when that you can't do it. You actually have to look at each individual weapon and find out how do we nerf it. For example, for the Soros, there needs to be a perk needs to be taken away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, fine. When I zoom in, make my accuracy, make my gun more accurate because it's going to shoot slower, but don't give bonus damage.
Right.
That is overkill. That is so much. That is overkill. Don't give me bonus damage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
stuff
bonus
like that.
damage plus, I think, what is it? The bottom of the clip
Yes,
is even more damage.
God, I try my best not to reload. When I reload and I still have 20 rounds in the clip, I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Exactly. See, it's like I get confused sometimes because I'm like, yo, should I reload or should I not? Because if I reload, it's like, yo, maybe I might have multiples coming around. I'm like, yo, can I get a multi-kill?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get greedy sometimes. I'm like, yo, let me just reload just in case. But sometimes, like, yo, I've had so many double downs when I've, maybe, haven't been as accurate shooting at somebody.
Yeah.
And then I get accurate and then I'm shooting at them and then their boy steps in the way and I get a double down. I'm like, yo, that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yo, you know how many triple downs I've gotten with the Soros, man?
Yo, I got so many triple downs yesterday. Like, I was like, yo, what is going on? Like,
with the Soros, on multiple occasions, I have gotten a 5-kill streak out of one clip.
Right.
You want to tell me there's nothing wrong with that gun, Bungie? Come on. A 5-kill streak out of one clip? Dude.
That's ridiculous.
One gun that I used to complain about a lot, but not necessarily anymore, is the Mythocast.
Oh, yeah.
The Mythocast, I think, is dying.
Just back up.
And this is why, yeah. The community has figured out how to nullify the Mythocast. And people, I think, I stopped using it because it's not as fruitful as it used to be. Basically, after mid-range, the Mythocast is now it's basically like a light show. It's a laser light show going past you.
Well, I mean, the problem that with Mythoclast is that, well, it's not really a problem. It's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Is that people are treating it like an auto rifle, and it's not an auto rifle.
Exactly.
People have to think of it as a scout rifle that has auto rifle. That has not auto rifle. A scout rifle that has auto fire.
Yes.
And with a really high rate auto fire. So if you're using it as a scout rifle, and you're using that ammo precisely, you're gonna have a lot of good times with that Mythoclast. But people are being dumb about Mythoclast, and I'm not just talking about PvP. I'm talking about PvE, where you see endless spreads of fire going all over the place, and I'm like, you're doing absolutely no damage to that knight, and he's about to go through that glass and kill you, right. And I'm going to laugh at you. When the second I hear Peter Dinklage say "Guardian down,"
yeah, yeah, dude. Like the Mythoclast, when it's in the hands of somebody who knows what they're doing, it's still a problem. But now, it's less of a threat. Well, because before you used to have the scrubs running around with that shit, and if they got close to you or mid range, it's one thing. But now, as soon as I see a Mythoclast or as soon as I see hear it fire, I just start backing up, start flying away, backing up, and they're letting that shit fly. And it's like being on gym, just fucking lasers flying fucking everywhere, and you kill them. That's how you handle that shit. So the Mythoclast is becoming less of an issue. Also, blade dances, man. I've been seeing, because I go into the Bungie forum sometimes just to watch conversations. Actually, I saw a forum thread where somebody was saying, and people were agreeing with him, that the blade dancer and arc blade need to be buffed because you can't do anything with it anymore. And I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Maybe because before, I would say before Christmas or around Christmas, early January, somebody would just jump in the middle of a group, pop blade dancer, and start fucking motherfuckers up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you do that so many times, and now you get used to it. My invective is the fucking blade dancer killer, man.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is now, I think people are getting, when somebody sees somebody kill somebody, a blade dancer with a shotgun blast, one or two shotgun blasts, that shit spread, man.
That's what I was telling you last time, and you didn't want to believe me.
That shit spread, dog.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
Hey, you said it. You said
exactly. Kiss my ass.
Now, but the thing is, my hunter, I still kill people with blade dancer a lot. You saw the video I posted where I killed the entire team 1.5 times.
Yeah.
I killed them. They respawned. I killed 3 more of them. And so, like, it's how you use Blade Dancer. Blade Dancer is still very, very dangerous. Like, a lot of it, this is the thing I was talking about. It's the scrubs, man. The scrubs, like, those weapons, that's a weapon, but that ability, Blade Dancer, it made people who were bad look good because you didn't really know how to handle it at first.
Right.
But now that, like, because, when I first started using Blade Dancer and then people were, like, shotgunning me, I was getting hit. I was like, okay, whatever. But now I know I need to keep my ass in the air if possible or out of sight until I'm ready to actually kill somebody, you know?
Right. And that's the thing. Like, that's what I want to see more of is just more like when I see a team of hunters, it's like, damn.
Right.
Like, I want to be able to see a team of each class, not of each class, obviously it can't be each class, but like just a balanced team. And you're like, yo, watch out for this guy because he's really good at, he's just really good at blade dancing and he catches everybody.
Right.
That's what I want to see in matches. I don't want to see just a team of hunters and everybody's using a hunter just because
either blade dance or golden
you
gun.
can blade dance or golden gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been so many times where I'm like, okay, a blade dancer kills me. I respawn. Oh, here's a golden gun. Oh, here's another blade dancer. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, you can't even respawn sometimes because they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just want to see, more variety and just more skill being on display instead of just these powers and these guns being used.
You're never going to see that.
Oh, no.
I'm letting you know right now. If you're expecting that, I got 99 problems.
Oh, no. This is just conversation.
I will say this. I will say this though. I'm at the point where I no longer think hunters are the most overpowered, and I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people.
Right.
I think if you had 3 teams of 6 characters each, and each team had a specific class, the one that would always come out on top, hands down, would be a Titan team. Wow. They generate orbs like nobody's business, and you will see if you have 3 Titans with that do bubbles, that's an automatic 5 orbs right there.
Right.
Each. On top of any slams that the other 3 are doing, you are generating an obscene amount of orbs. And hunters can no longer say that they can generate orbs like they used to. In fact, they actually got nerfed in terms of orb generation. You're only, especially in PvE. In PvE, if you are trying to generate orbs as a blade dancer, you got the wrong class. Because a major that for every other gunslinger, all the warlocks and Titan supers, you kill a major, it's 4 orbs automatically. If you kill a major as a blade dancer, you're only getting 2 orbs, and that makes a huge difference, especially when you're fighting against Crota.
Right.
So they got nerfed big time in everything, including PvP. And yes, that might be a good thing in certain respects, but when you're going up against Titans who can generate non-stop orbs all over the place, you got an absurd amount of supers coming your way, and that could change the battle real quick.
Right.
I mean, a blade dancer versus a Titan doing a super, no contest. That Titan's gonna win immediately. And you're gonna start. I guarantee you, you're gonna start seeing a lot more Titan teams coming out soon. Especially, I don't know if you guys saw the video or not.
Yes, with the unlimited fucking specials.
Are you, what I'm talking about is when the team of 6 Titans that beat Crota's End.
Oh no! I thought you were talking about the video where
there's a video right now.
Unlimited specials. Yeah.
There's a video right now. 6 Titans. I think it was 4 of them doing Defender, 2 of them doing the Striker. They beat Crota's End. Yeah, it was on normal, but they beat Crota's End without firing their gun once.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they did the all melee run. Yeah.
It was all melee, grenades, and supers. No firing of the guns. They beat the dog piss out of that damn ogre. I've never seen an ogre. I felt bad for the ogre.
Yeah.
When I'm feeling bad for pixels, we know we got an issue.
Right.
I mean, the second I saw that, I was like, people are going to adapt that to PvP really soon.
Yeah, I feel like
well,
Titans
there
are
was already a video where there was a group of 6, and they had like 3 Titans. And they kept popping Titan bubbles,
Mm-hmm.
and they basically the way with the orb spawned.
Mm-hmm.
They kept everybody like the hunters kept getting their special, and they just had unlimited golden guns,
Mm-hmm.
and they would go killing everybody. It was ridiculous, and you couldn't do anything. If Bungie saw a video, they need to get on. They need to take care of it right now. They need to do something to stop that right now, because that was ridiculous. There was nothing you could do about it. Even if you had warlocks doing like Nova bombs, they can only take one bubble down at a time.
Well, warlocks have the one, I forget the name of the helmet now, but basically you're gonna see. The one thing I've noticed, people have started moving away from Sunsinger and gone to Voidwalker.
Oh yeah, I did that a while ago.
Oh yeah,
especially
definitely.
for orb generation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, the one helmet that you basically, anytime you do a super, any kills that you get from that super automatically gives you super energy back.
Yeah.
So you see endless streams of Hadoukens coming your way, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
I mean, a team of 3 warlocks and 3 titans is just asking for destruction.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because you have range and you
Mhm.
have like up close combat. Like you
Right.
can't. There's no way you can lose with a team like that.
Right. So I know
Go
that
ahead.
you guys were talking about it a lot last time, how hunters were overpowered. I no longer think that's the case. I think they are actually the weaker of the 3 right now.
I don't think so, because you brought up your example of the 3 Titan class of the 6 Titans in one group.
Mhm.
I mean, while it'll be frustrating to play, you would just need to play them long range. You stop them from generating orbs, pretty much. Or and then on top of that, for the strikers to actually kill you, the strikers need to get close to you.
Right. Which is where the defender class comes in.
Right, but that's the same thing. That's the thing. You keep backing up. The defenders can't move they can move, but they're not going to move outside their bubbles. And if they do, that's a stupid mistake. Actually, I kill defenders like that all the time. Like they get cocky, move outside their bubbles, and then they get killed thanks to the thorn.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like if you keep moving them back, if you keep kiting them, you keep kiting them, you'll eventually just stay away from them. Because that's the only thing. They have to get close to you. And that's the difference between why I still think hunters are a little ridiculous. I mean, I'm learning to manage them better. You know what I'm saying? I think they're still a little ridiculous because they're still the only class that you actively have to run away from them. You actively have to stay away from them for as long as they have their special. Okay? You don't even have to do that with Sunsingers. I have
Sunsingers. I mean, you already expressed how I felt about Sunsingers in that one Facebook post.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't see it, basically some guy was like saying, "I'll wait until you kill me, and then I'll res and I'll kill you." I was like, "Okay, I'll wait until you res and shotgun you to death."
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm
Right.
not sure if he actually plays Crucible a lot. I saw the
No.
post. I'm not sure because in Crucible, actually, I have a video I've been meaning to share, but I just keep forgetting to publish it. But basically, it's me. I kill a guy, right? And I'm standing there, and he Sunsingers right up, and I just sit there waiting for him. I don't move an inch. I just wait there. As soon as he gets up, first thing I do is I just fist of havoc. Bam, dead twice. Yeah, that's the thing. But with the hunters, like I said, you actually have to stay away from. The way you nullify a Sunsinger is leaving. You have to leave. Yes, and sometimes I have been able to kill Sunsingers from the side when I see them, and sometimes they miss. I think they get a little nervous, so they miss when you hit them. Depends on the Sunsinger, but a decent Sunsinger will kill you every time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I think you call your tactic sit the fuck down. Is that?
Yes, that's what I call it. Sit the fuck down. I mean, I say that every time I kill one of them. Yeah.
You know what? I think it's sit the fuck down and then sit the fuck back down.
Yes, that's for Sunsingers. Yes, But like, yeah, like so, like with fucking, you know, with the no, I was gonna say with the war with the hunters, they can get you close and they can get you far.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. So like, you can, like, if you have, let's say, 6 hunters and 3 are fucking golden, 3 are golden gun and 3 are arc blade. If you have one guy who's arc blade charging at you, not only do you have to worry about, you can't just focus on him. Now you might have a not sunslinger, a gunslinger in the background that's pointing in your direction. So what
Right.
do you do? Do you try to dodge the gunslinger, or do you try to get away from the arc blade?
Yeah.
Easy.
See. Go ahead.
What you would do in that situation, I mean, a smart team would do, is you play to your strength, which is taking out the blade dancer. You're gonna wait for him. If you're playing to the strength of the distance in any shooter, the guy with the greatest advantage is the one who's furthest away from you, who knows how to do damage from a distance. The one who's always close to you it can hit harder, but it's a risk that can be capitalized on easier. So you always play to your strength, which in this case would be the blade dancer. You would wait for him to make the first move and take him out. And if you're if you're in a team, an effective team, the other team members would focus on the gunslinger while you yourself are taking care of the blade dancer. He can only go after one person at a time.
Right. Well, that's true. But on top of the thing about Blade Dancer is it's not just like Blade Dancer. You're running at normal speed. You are zipping back and forth. You can catch people who are at a decent distance between each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when somebody does pop Blade Dancer and they're close to 3 or 4 people, all 3 people are in danger of that Blade Dancer.
Oh yeah.
It's not like the Blade Dancer's just coming after you. Because I've had Blade Dancers. I thought a Blade Dancer might kill me, and he zips past me and kills the guy next to me, and the next thing I know, then I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because when the Blade Dancer pops, he has everybody's attention. So I'm talking about completely trying to stay alive here. But if a Blade Dancer does pop next to 3 people, if you all pull out your shotguns, you'll probably take them down fast. But in that same time, that golden gun is probably going to hit 1, maybe 2 of you. And that's the thing. Like them etching out those kills one at a time.
See, and that's the thing about that hunter class is it's all offensive. Every other class has pretty much a defensive side to it.
Or support, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hunter, it's all offense. So if you want to attack with hunters, you're going to attack. Like, you're going to fuck some shit up. You know what I'm saying? But like with, the thing about it is with the Titans is if you guys all stick together, you're going to generate orbs and you're going to win, because if somebody tries to come near that bubble,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, you're going to strike them. That's going to generate orbs, pop another bubble. That's, you know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be that cycle of just that area. If somebody tries to infiltrate that area, it's over. But with hunters, it's like, yo, if we're going to strike, we're going to strike now. And that's the thing. Like, if you don't kill right then with the hunter, if you don't kill everybody then, like, you're pretty much dead.
Right.
Like, you have to kill when you want to.
Right.
Because if you don't, you're done.
And it kind of goes back to what me and Jared were talking about earlier. For the one Crucible in Venus, what's it called now?
Oh, Asylum.
Yeah.
The way everybody plays it, at least most people anyway, when you go in there, the second you go in there, everybody goes to that high bridge area.
Oh, yeah, the bridge.
Right in the middle, the middle top. The smart person would avoid that at all costs. Why? Because it's a death trap. It's basically asking you to hand your life away and give 100 points to somebody.
Right.
For the most part, anyway. It's the same thing with a hunter. I mean, the hunter is basically the character version of that. It's if you go up there, if you jump into the hunter's trap, you're gonna get caught every single time.
Right.
You got more than any other character, the hunter forces you to play differently, and that's what makes it uncomfortable sometimes.
Right.
But when you play differently, the hunter can't do jack shit against you.
That's true. Like, if you're sniping against hunters, like, you can pretty much get them. I mean, you can pretty much get any body with when you're sniping.
Yeah, that's not just a hunter thing, but I mean that comes back. I played my hunter. Like fighting against snipers, I don't think is about your class. That's definitely about your weapon.
No, not yeah, exactly. That's definitely not about your class because some of those weapons, yeah.
But even like if anybody can take out a sniper quickly, it's a hunter with golden gun.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
depending on the range, and golden gun has a pretty far range.
Right.
It does, but it's not as a hunter. Because here's the thing: sniper versus a hunter with a golden gun activated. I would say 6 out of 4 times the sniper will win. And I'm talking about even playing field, as in both characters are pretty decent and not dumb and being stupid about things.
And both within range of each other? Like golden gun range?
I would still give the edge to the sniper. I know it sounds crazy, but I've seen it so many times. I've personally seen it so many times.
I think it depends on the range.
I've done it so many times where people will pop their supers. I'm like, okay, fine. Icebreaker, you're dead. Doesn't matter what you just did. You just lost your super, and you can't do a diddly squat to me.
I mean, it all depends on the range, of that confrontation. You know what I'm saying? Because at a certain golden gun at a certain range is with accuracy is pretty much unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one shot, that's it. I've had, sniper shots that have hit me and have not killed me. Right. So it's all about range and the accuracy with that sniper. I mean, it's pretty much with either class, but I mean, you're right. The sniper does have a range advantage, and you can see that, your target a lot clearer than gold. I mean, golden gun it's just a hand cannon, basically. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. That confrontation all really depends on the players in the range that you're fighting in.
Yeah, I mean, I've used to play a lot of Crucible. I still do, just not as much as I used to. But I've played it so much that I've seen every single situation get countered. And whenever I see, I mean, the easiest thing to see is a whole bunch of noobs throwing on their blade dancers. I'm like, okay, fine, go ahead. Here's my shotgun. Fra fra fra. You're dead. Good job. I mean, it's all about making sure that you're properly equipped, and that's not to say that you guys don't make sure that you're properly equipped. But I mean, I always have a shotgun that has high rate of fire because it automatically takes care of those blade dancers.
Right.
I mean, they still have to run to you, and yeah, they can swipe all they want, but by the time they finish that swipe, I already fired 2 shots, and I only need 1 more to kill you.
Right.
So making sure that you have a shotgun that can nullify a hunter. Making sure that you have a proper sniper rifle, and you know what to do with that sniper rifle. It's not just enough to have the sniper rifle. It's to know what to do with that sniper rifle. Should you have to go up against a gunslinger. I mean that sniper rifle also comes into play when you're dealing stuff with the Sunsinger, the Warlock. I mean, the only class that I can honestly say that doesn't have an inherent weakness is a Titan Defender. I mean, yeah, they can't do jack squat with their super offensively, but I mean, they're generating orbs, which will eventually lead to an offensive attack that you can't defend.
Right.
That's why I guarantee you, with the next 2 to 3 months, you're going to see people shift away from their hunters and start you're going to see groups that know what they're doing have a whole bunch of Titans in there.
I mean, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it now too. Like,
right. I mean, the low point for Titans was not too long ago when they were only 20% of the total amount. People started seeing how they generate orbs, and they're like, you know what? I honestly think that they're probably going to be the healers of the group. And for the most part, especially in Crota Raid, if you don't have a Titan, you're not going to get any health back.
Oh, nah, you can't. Yeah, the Titan is crucial in raids.
And I guarantee you it's going to become more and more crucial when you start dealing with teams that get put together specifically for Crucible. where they comprise about half of the team. I mean, I haven't seen any tournaments for Destiny yet. I don't think there has been any major tournaments anyway. But if there was, I guarantee you half of the teams would have at least 3 or more Titans.
I can see that. I can see that happening.
Hunters, while they're extremely powerful, it's a lone wolf, and when you're going up against a team that knows what they're doing, that lone wolf mentality that's got to go out the window real quick.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like teams of like Titans, like now, because the big thing is a lot of people are like kind of rediscovering the Titan Defender, and we've been seeing a lot of them in Crucible. People popping bubbles, like just to keep themselves alive and stuff like that. But the best way to deal with that is don't be an idiot. And like when you see somebody with the clear advantage, like they have a bubble around them and their teammates, don't fight. Like you have to leave. It's the same scenario or the same plan you need to execute when you see a Sunsinger. Except the Sunsinger doesn't last nearly as long as this bubble shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
well, I mean, the Sunsinger, you can make it last longer.
That's Sunsinger. I didn't mean Sunsinger. I meant to say Golden Gun.
Same thing. I mean, the Golden Gun has a set. The one nice thing about the Golden Gun, balance-wise anyway, is that it has a set amount of time. There's no way to increase the length of time outside of getting critical kills with a knife throw when you have the one perk on, which almost nobody has.
Right.
So that's a nice balance to it. A bubble, I mean, there's helmets that let it last long.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it lasts for a really long time. But the thing, and while that's a pain in the ass, it's kind of annoying, and you kind of get antsy, and you want to attack and you want to get in there. They're now they pop the bubble, but it's completely nullified if they have to walk away from it. Like if you see a bubble, like you tell your teammates, there's a bubble on B, go to A and C, and just don't go to B. Like they can't do anything. They're just gonna sit on B. And even the thing is, like, time is actually running against them because as you sit there, they sit there and wait for you to come back, and you sit there, you're gaining your special, and you're bound to have 1 or 2 or 3 people come out and try to get points. Yeah. So that's the thing. I think you're right. I think we will see it, but Jaws already got a plan. But then the thing is, when you play Crucible, with pubs, you do play with dumbasses, and that's the frustrating part. When you play Crucible with a team, it's totally different. Like if you have 6 people on comms, you're like, don't go to B, and that works out.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, I do see what you're saying. I still think like Hunters, because not Hunter. You can't. I don't think you completely can nullify Hunters where you can completely nullify Defender Titans.
Right. But if that team is playing really, like if that team of Titans is playing smart, yeah, it's definitely still gonna be tough.
Oh, absolutely, definitely tough. Never said it wasn't gonna be, but the thing is, like, you can't, like, a Defender Titan can be nullified. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just like I think Sunsingers can pretty much be nullified. Like I had one game with this dude, every time he sunsang, like I fucking destroyed him. Every time he sunsang, like I would kill him. Like it was amazing. Not for him, but for me. It was awesome.
I think I was in that game.
Yeah, there's been a few. Like Sunsang is like that. I used to be a Sunsanger. I used to be a Sunsanger, and then like it was like, well, fuck this. Like this isn't working out. And like I found I was doing much better. The Void Walker is just so much. He's better suited for Crucible than the Sunsinger.
Yeah, right.
The Sunsinger, like,
man.
Oh yeah, the Sunsinger, man. Fuck it. I use the Sunsinger like crazy in PvE. That is my PvE shit. That's my dog. Mm-hmm. But not with not in Crucible. In Crucible, I gotta go with the Void Walker, man. So, but we talked about that for a while. Let's talk about that ammo fix, which that'll be a short topic, because they talked about the ammo fix, and they're saying they're gonna fix it, but they don't necessarily know when. Like, because they said, well, they explained why it's a problem, And it sounds like a stupid problem to have, to be honest. I don't know why they programmed it that way. Where, like, what was it? Like, they calculated, it was like some type of percentage. Like, they calculate. Long story short, I'm not going to bore you with the details. Long story short, they did not calculate heavy ammo the same way they calculated regular ammunition.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay? Especially in PvE. You know what I'm saying? And in PvP, it should be just as simple. If you have heavy ammo, then you die, you don't have heavy ammo. That's it. You know, that's the end of it. But yeah, so we should be seeing a heavy ammo fix coming sometime in the future.
My guess would be March.
Yeah, sometime in March.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, hard mode Crota also came out in the last few weeks.
Oh boy, I couldn't wait for this part right here.
So hard mode Crota. Actually, I just finished it for the first time yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yesterday was the first time I finished hard mode Crota. When did you complete it for the first time, dude?
I completed it the very first week.
Yo, you completed it. Oh, look at you, snazzy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't completed it yet.
Let me tell you something. I'm all for challenge. I'm the kind of person who plays old school games every so often just because I like a challenge. I don't like the challenge that they provide here with the hard mode. It's just not a fun hard raid. And it has nothing to do with it being challenging. I can appreciate the enemies being 33. What I don't appreciate is that you're completely at the mercy of whether a thralls goes to the right or the left. Something as small as that can completely alter how the raid goes. And it's ridiculous because, for example, one thrall goes left, that means that the others are going to go right. I mean, the way they're programmed reminds me of the ghost from Pac-Man, where a certain ghost will go in a certain direction, another ghost will go the opposite direction on purpose to get you to go to a certain area so that they can converge on you. And that's how these enemies work pretty much. And, for example, in the last boss battle, you can't have a solid strategy for the Crota fight in particular. I mean, we'll talk about the rest of the raid, but I think it's safe to say that the Crota fight more than anything was changed the biggest,
right?
Due to enemy movement. Not Crota himself. He's not that much harder by himself, but the enemy movements are so off the wall, crazy and dumb sometimes. For example, I've seen the sword bearer. I mean, last time we were talking about how I personally saw the sword bearer running down the middle all the way to the back and kept running towards the wall. And we were just like, what is he doing?
Right.
I've seen the sword bearer go. Most people, I think it's safe to say, do the glass tactic where they're in the middle, the top middle, and cap everything that's in the middle so that nobody can get hit. But I've seen it so many times where for no reason the sword bearer will just run off to either the right or the left ogre room and just chill in there. And that can break a raid completely just because you're not going to have enough time to do damage on Crota before he moves.
Right.
And it's really frustrating sometimes where you have everything perfect, your ammo's perfect, and Bungie's like, nope, enemy movement change. Is that a flaw in the tactic, or is that a flaw that people are using, or is that more of a flaw of the enemy? I'm not even sure because sometimes the enemy movement just doesn't make any sense.
Well, when we did the Crota raid, our biggest problem, first of all, everything is definitely harder, and the fact that you can't res is a big deal. So going through the first part is a lot harder because it's not like you could just die and wait around. If somebody dies, you can't just wait around and fight enemies off until they get back. They're gone, and which of course is going to make the last part that much harder. So that's difficult. The bridge push definitely more difficult because, in normal mode, you don't have to straight up hide, But in the bridge portion now, you have to straight up hide once everybody gets to the other side. If everybody gets to the other side.
Yeah, those hollowed boomers hit hard.
They do. Now, Crota himself, the biggest problems we were having was when Crota would do weird stuff. Like if Crota would swing even though we took his ammo down, or Crota would move faster than he's supposed to. Or the sword bearer moving weird. Like you say, enemy movement, that did make a difference. But like the sword bearer would move, let's say out of range of the snipers and stuff like that, way farther than he normally did. That was like a problem.
Or even the worst thing, those dumb glitches where out of nowhere a sword will disappear.
Yes, like stupid shit like that. We had on so many occasions where, our sword bearer or the guy hitting Crota will be in the middle of attacking Crota just get the fuck up. Like he'd just get up and then swing,
Yeah.
Or do something like really out of characteristic, and like that's an issue. Consistency was the problem with the fight. If we had consistency in that fight, we would have beat that fight so fast. But it's the inconsistencies, and it's not like it doesn't feel like they planned the inconsistency. You know what I'm saying? They feel like bugs. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you see like some teams just run it like super easily, and sometimes you don't. Like it's silly, and that's a problem if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, there's been occasions where I've been able to beat Crota first attempt on hard without any problems. We just wipe them out, and this will be with a team of randoms,
right?
And then I'll do it with my normal squad, and we're there doing 10 attempts, 12 attempts, still can't get it because of one random bug just happens, and all of a sudden, I mean, for example, it takes 18 total R2s to take down Crota as a 32.
Right.
So we have it calculated that it takes 3 swords. So if something wrong happens in one of those swords, we're like, oh, wipe. And it'll be on that third sword almost every single time. That third sword, a dumb glitch happens. The sword disappears. Right. Or Crota will automatically just get up or doesn't even go down to a knee. I've had it where Crota starts the animation to go down on a knee, decides, no, never mind, I'm going to swing at him.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, you were going down to a knee. Get out of here with that BS.
Yes, that has happened. I've seen that happen where he's going down and all of a sudden he swings.
Yeah, that happened to us last night and we were just doing normal and that happened to us.
Right, yeah. That's bullshit. Like when that happens, it really is. It really is.
I'm getting frustrated because Bungie focuses. Don't get me wrong. Some of these glitches, like the whole land unplug glitch, was completely wrong. But man, like I don't mind difficulty. I don't like when the game just cheeses out.
Yes.
Like that is really bad on Bungie, and they still haven't fixed this. At least it's. I will say this: it's not as bad as how it was when the hard mode raid came out.
Right.
There are still some very obvious things that are. I mean, the worst week for me was the second week where I managed to beat Crota on hard on all 3 characters on the last day.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's gotten really bad where some of these glitches are just. They frustrate people to the point where they don't want to play. I've had somebody literally say, one of my clan members, I'm done with this game. I'll come back when House of Wolves comes out.
Yeah.
But I'm done with this game right now because this game is just not fun. You should never have glitches, full on actual glitches, ruin the experience for somebody that bad.
Right.
That is just terrible programming, terrible bug testing, just all out. It's the most disappointing. It's more disappointing to me the reaction people have on that hard mode raid than it is the amount of content on this game, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, like there's a definite difference between this hard mode and the Vault hard mode. The Vault hard mode is fun, I think.
It is. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is challenging,
but
and
it's fun.
yeah, there are some glitches, especially with Atheon.
Yeah,
But
but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still a fun raid to play.
right, I mean,
and I don't know. I always felt that the Vault raid was just a better raid, like especially like the last Atheon fight. It just feels so much more involved. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just certain points in the Crota raid where you're not doing anything. You know?
well, I mean, I think it goes back to the way it is. I mean, for example, Atheon, it's not one person up against the whole world.
Right.
I mean, it's literally an entire team going up against this bad A, and he's trying to destroy you, knowing full well that he's using the powers. He's so weakened that he's using the powers of time against you.
Yeah.
And you have to work against that. Whereas, and yeah, there were certain moments where individuality pays. For example, the relic holder. But I mean, it was a team effort. I mean, the relic holder, if anything, had the easiest time since he's just holding up the relic and doing nothing.
Yeah.
But I mean, on this raid, the sword bearer goes down. That's it. You have to restart.
Yeah, on this hard mode, definitely. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, that's a little ridiculous sometimes. That's a lot of pressure to be put up against somebody. Like, I mean, there's not many things that would change from the first raid. The way with the concept anyway. I thought it was a pretty solid concept. I mean, outside of the glitches, it was pretty good. But I mean, this raid, it just seems, I don't know. I still do it because it's fun, but right now I have all the weapons from hard mode, including the Crux of Crota, which I've made into the Necrochasm.
Oh yeah.
I have no real reason to play it.
Yeah, actually, that's what I need. I got the Glowhu or whatever it's called, and now I need the Crux, like, so I can get the Necrochasm. And
Right.
that's basically. I mean, I got the Fang of Irut, or I think it's Irut.
Irut.
Irut, yeah, and I don't know. I still do have a reason to play, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, right now I have more items from the normal side that I need to get than I have exotics that need to be collected. I mean, so I really have no point in doing the hard mode raid, especially when it's basically draining you of your heavy ammos. I mean, if you want to talk about bullet sponges,
Right? Yeah.
I mean, it's non-stop heavy ammo after heavy ammo. Just, ugh. And to lose them all on a dumb glitch is just so frustrating and so annoying. It's really, really bad. I mean, I like the the best thing was when you first start off doing the raid. And you're in the first part, and you're getting swarmed by thralls. I was like, okay, they're playing up to the strength of the hive, where they basically, they're all about swarming you and just coming at you in numbers like the Zerg.
Yeah.
And then you get to a place like, okay, the bridge, understandable. They're still kind of swarming you, but the game slowed down. And then you get to the actual Irut battle, where it's a race against time, trying to kill her real quick, but there's still a lot of big, powerful enemies that you have to kill. And then you get to Crota, and everything just kind of like,
Right.
It's a very unsatisfying raid. I mean, one of the things I would have done would have been, I mean, one of the, I mean, they're tough as hell, but one of the most fun enemies in the game is a damn ogre. I mean, have a giant version of an ogre, kind of like Fogoth, where he's completely invincible, and you have to run away from him on your Sparrow, and you're kind of going through all these caves, and he's just dashing through the rock, something like that. Like like where you're playing up to the strengths of these characters, and they kind of don't.
You're
Whereas
right. Yeah.
Whereas in the previous raid, I mean, there were instances where every single Vex had like its own like glory moment. You had on the Oracle battles all these. I mean, if you're playing it the real way, not the cheap tactic. If you're playing it the real way, you have, for example, when you're dealing with all these hobgoblins sniping you from one location, and then in the beginning and at the end area where you're dealing with Praetorians, and then you got the gatekeepers, and then you finally get the big bad booty daddy himself, Atheon, and you're dealing with all these supplicants, and you got the oracles. Like every single enemy had like a purpose, and it was cool. And then you get to this battle outside of a sword bearer, and maybe if you want to go there, the gatekeeper. Was there really an enemy that kind of stood out? No, not really.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I expected there to be a whole bunch of wizards played, do something with those wizards where they're they're all about summoning creatures and doing all these things, and you don't see that.
Yeah, you're right. Wizards really didn't get the love they should have because wizards are like at certain parts of the game, you're like when you see a wizard, you're like, oh shit, it's a fucking wizard. You know what I'm saying? Like, like in the Fogoth, like when you're doing that strike on certain difficulties, or like specifically when at the end of the Thorn Bounty, man, like the wizards can fuck your shit up.
Mm-hmm.
When they do the Nightfall, when it was the summoning pit, and like those four fucking wizards come out. Oh my god,
wizard.
Wizard. Oh, I'm done. I'm like, I can't. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of expected too, considering that they like as soon as they mentioned Hard Mode raid, and they mentioned the Abyss Defiant, I was like, okay, cool. They're gonna incorporate more wizards. They really didn't.
Yeah,
I mean, the only other place where there's now a wizard is if you kill 2 of the boomers. But if you only kill 1, the wizard never comes out, so you never have to deal with her.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, they really didn't use these characters, I don't think, anyway. They didn't really use these characters properly, and there's no point to them outside of being things to shoot.
Right. You know what else I would have liked to seen is more the handicaps. I mean, like at the beginning of the raid, like the beginning of the raid of Crota's raid is so hectic and so crazy. Like I would have liked to see more of those handicaps where you kind of have to depend on the environment, to get through it and to get to certain spots, with the weight, coming down on you. I would have liked to see more of that in the raid, just to, especially with it coming to hard mode, like just add more of those like variables to mix it up a little bit. I think that's pretty cool.
I think what would have been cool too would have been, for example, I know a lot of people hate it. I don't, and I personally love it. One of my favorite strikes in the game is the one where you're fighting against the 3 the Scion Flares.
You like that shit?
I like it because it's a different type of strike than the other ones. You have to, I mean, yeah, you can just barrel it. But imagine when that strike actually gets into being this fall anyway, when it comes both to Xbox and PS4. But imagine when that strike actually becomes a Nightfall, and you can't use Solar against an Arc and actually take it down. You actually have to use Solar against Solar, Arc against Arc, Void against Void. If they had, for example, 3 wizards that had each one of them had the elemental shield.
Oh man!
And they made it so that you actually have to kill the wizards with that actual
element,
and then each wizard would like conjure up something with the room where it would change the effects, where all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of lava coming out, or fire or something like that, or ice or electricity coming out from different locations, and it changes the environment. You can't tell me that fight wouldn't have been cool.
Oh yeah, definitely would have been cool.
I agree.
So like, I mean, if they incorporated some sort of that into that raid, and first off, they should have made that raid a little bit larger. That raid is piss tiny. I think it would have been a better raid and would have been more memorable. But as it is now, I mean, the only tactic that you really need to know is up until the Crota fight, anyways, run, gun, hide, run, gun, hide, run, gun, hide, and survive.
Right.
Right.
Everything you're talking about here is it's the same thing we've been echoing since The Dark Below came out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that it feels half-assed, it feels rushed, it doesn't feel like they put a lot of thought into it.
So what you're saying is it's not it's not Verizon Internet, it's half-fast.
It's half-assed, yes. And that's the thing, that's the way it kind of feels.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the biggest problem with that. The expansion period is that, like, you know, I mean, the only reason people complain about it a lot, but the only reason I don't think it shut Destiny down with how, you know, half-assed the expansion was because of people's friends. Like, it's a social thing at this point. You know what I'm saying? I think it is a social thing. So yeah, like that's the thing. It's the entire expansion doesn't feel good. Like, you know.
Well, I mean, I think it comes down to, first off, not an expansion, DLC.
Very true. Very true.
And the way they keep, and that's on I almost said Destiny again. That's on Bungie, because or even if you want to go there, that's on Activision. They keep touting it as an expansion, and it's not an expansion. It's DLC. Problem is with a game like this, when you do a DLC, people are automatically going to assume it being an expansion, which is why I'm kind of afraid, kind of jumping ahead to a topic that we were going to be hitting on. I'm kind of afraid if the leaks are true regarding the House of Wolves. If it does come out in May, I wonder how many people are going to stay around for that. I'm kind of scared because I love this game. As many faults as it has, and as much as we complain about it, but I can very easily see a whole bunch of people just being like, "Done, good. I'm quite all right. I got other games that I can be playing." Because May, what are the big blockbuster games that come out in May, or April and May?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked because the games have been like things have been so dry. I haven't really been looking into it.
I'm pretty sure there's a couple big releases either in April or May that have the potential to kind of take some of the luster away from Destiny. I mean, Dying Light, say what you will about it, is already started taking some people away. I mean, I've started seeing it a lot more in my friends list, and I've seen far fewer people than have normally been here playing Destiny. I mean, I didn't see this, even though the hard mode raid came out at the same time that the normal mode raid for Vault of Glass. I mean, people were still playing Vault of Glass hard mode for the longest time, or trying to anyway.
Right.
I mean, I don't see the same thing for the dark. I mean, for Crota's End on hard. It's just like I mentioned, it's not a fun raid, and people are starting to get turned off by that to the point where they're actually doing Vault of Glass even more.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, the Vault of Glass, it feels like the weapons in Vault, people want them more. Like, people want the Mythal Class. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People want that, and I think that's part of the reason why.
Only thing is, again, going back to the leaks, if the leaks are true, those weapons are going to become very useless within the next few months.
Yeah, we might as well just, get into that, with the leaks. But yeah, so the House of Wolves, there was a huge data dump, one in English and one in Japanese, but it looks like the one in Japanese got the biggest attention on Reddit. But I mean, I'm not gonna go through all this shit, but somebody, I guess they data mined all this information, like what
from the actual game.
Yeah, for the game, new exotics, raid gear, vendor gear, changes to the crucibles, new activities, stuff like that. Like, let's see, and actually, this one says that the release date for House of Wolves is gonna be March 10th, but the newer rumor is that it's gonna be in May, like Energy said.
And Bungie's already confirmed that it's a Q2 release.
Okay, yeah. So it's looking. That's what it's looking like then. So they show like new activities. It's 3 story missions, a new Vanguard level, a new strike, and a new raid. Obviously,
Is that enough for you?
no, not in terms of PVE content. I said it before, and I don't know. I'm still on the fence on whether I'm gonna get it or not. That's the thing. I'm still on the fence. I have to see. It all depends. Like maybe because I did not get the I did not get the season pass because it was only a $5 difference.
Mm-hmm.
$5 difference. So I didn't get it, and I think I might actually wait. Like, I don't think I'm gonna get it the day of. Yeah, so that week I'll probably miss I'll probably miss the weekly strike and the dailies.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think I'm gonna wait and see what people have to say because if people are like, oh no, it's not that bad. It's pretty good. That's fine because nobody said that about Dark Below.
No, I mean, I guess I was one of the few people that actually thought it wasn't a terrible release. It was just a little underwhelming in terms of the amount.
But yeah, for the money that you spent, yeah.
Well, it's not even the money. It's more for the type of game that you're playing. I mean, let's face it, the game is meant to be MMO style. Yeah. I know people are going to say it's not an MMO. It's not an MMO. I mean, the way you play it, the way it's being set up, the way everybody's doing everything with the game, you might as well call it an MMO. I mean, you're running clans, you're running raids with your clans, you're getting set up, meeting people. I mean, not in the tower how it's supposed to be, but I mean, you're pretty much doing everything that you would with a group in an MMO. I mean, you're what is it? Farming for materials. You're grinding for levels, doing a whole bunch of stuff, trying to get your character maxed out so that you can do some of the harder stuff, or even when you go into PvP. I mean, this game has MMO written all over it. So the fact that it's as underwhelming as it is in content, it's a little disappointing, which comes back to going back to the leak. Part of the leak says that there's going to be content in March and May.
Gotcha.
And on top of that, at least from what I read, the light level is 39.
Which was interesting. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
That if the light level is in fact 39, that means that the guns are going to be pretty high level. I mean, we're talking almost 400, which means those 300 guns aren't going to cut it anymore.
Yes, that is very true. And Iron Banner will be a very different game now.
Oh, Iron Banner would just be destructive. Be destroyed left and right. And if that's the case, then are they going to introduce crafting where you can create stuff so that you have better weapons or upgrade your weapons or something? I mean, I don't know.
I would like to see that where you could take some of the, the older guns and take them to the vendor and get them, upped. Like you do with the exotics. I would like to see that with some of the legendary weapons.
Or maybe you get a quest that you got to complete, and then it's like a quest line. Like, okay, you want to get this weapon, you have to throw it in the fires of mortar, or something like that.
See, now those are the type of things that I would like to see them add.
Mm-hmm.
Where you actually have to play to get things. Because I do like the exotic bounties. I like the idea of those. Some of them.
Okay.
Not all of them. Let's not get it twisted. Not all of them.
Right.
But some of them are definitely, I like the fact that you have to, you have to play to really, to get to those higher weapons or those more significant weapons, and it's not just dumb luck.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that fact that, you just can't rely on randomness or just drops to get some of the, the higher. I mean, because I think we talked about this last time with some of the, with some of the drops. Like some people, haven't gotten a chance to raid or haven't been fortunate enough to get good groups where they can complete raids. And
there's still a lot of people who haven't done any of the raids at all.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, I would like to see more of just, playing put into a factor of getting better weapons and armor. You know.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest problem with the exotic bounties is just the fact that they haven't really changed any of them, and it's the same exact ones, same exact weapons, same exact everything. I mean, I was expecting with this with the new DLC that some of the exotics could be collected via new exotic bounties. I was kind of excited about that,
Yeah.
and lo and behold, not a single one.
Right.
And I'm like,
Right.
that doesn't make any sense because some of these are, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're a little out there, but I mean, nobody would complain if if you got an exotic bounty for a gun that was amazing. I mean,
Right.
don't get me wrong, people were like, oh my God, getting Thorn is ridiculous. But once they got that gun, they were like, oh yeah, I'm good.
It
But I
was
mean,
worth it.
outside of Thorn, maybe Pocket Infinity, and if you even want to go there, Invective.
Invective was cake, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cake, but I'm saying like for all the stuff that you have to do, is Invective really worth it? When you
Absolutely.
can get,
I would say, you know what? Invective is one of the guns I got, so I definitely could say that it wasn't too difficult to get Invective.
I mean, it's not a hard weapon to get, but I would put Found Verdict to be as effective as Invective.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
No.
Yes.
I have Found Verdict and I have Invective. Invective, I can put people down much faster with Invective. Found Verdict's fire rate is too slow to match with Invective. Invective is like Found Verdict with a fast fire rate and better range.
Eh.
I'm telling you, man, it sounds like a casket closing because I'm putting motherfuckers in the ground. Like, that's why. Like,
See, maybe it's just me, but like, I've been able to be more effective with my Found Verdict than I've seen people with Invective. I mean, I'm taking down people left and right who have Invective. Right. I'm not talking about some weak ass Invective. I'm talking about maxed out so that it has all its perk Invective.
Maybe it's about the players. Like, that's the thing. Like, with Invective, like, maybe they're not zooming in. Like me, I aim down the sights with the Invective, and it's usually a one-hit kill. And Invective's fire rate is so fast. It's like, oh, you didn't die the first time? Here, now you did. There you go. Sorry about that. You know, that's Invective. Like, yeah, that's a big deal. Like, Invective is the reason why I don't use the swords all the time. Sometimes I'll switch back to 4 people so I can use my Invective.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. See, that's the thing about the Invective. You can run up. I've been ran up on, and I've run up on people with the Invective, and the rate of fire is so fast that just going up on somebody and just popping shots, you can take them down because the rate of fire is so fast, and that's why I think Invective it's really deadly in the right hands.
Right. And the Found Verdict, don't get me wrong, that is a serious weapon. I've been killed with Found Verdict.
Oh yeah,
myself,
definitely.
But using it. Like, for example, if I'm going to go take on a Blade Dancer, I want Invective in my hands, not Found Verdict.
Right.
100%.
See, I've actually taken out more Blade Dancers with Found Verdict than Invective.
But you also said you don't aim down the sights, right?
No, every so often I do, but for the most part, no. I'll just walk around with. It's like I'm walking around. I'm singing in the rain, pow. I'm singing in the.
Oh, dude, yeah, like when I see a Blade Dancer and I have Invective, I know that Blade Dancer is not going to kill me. That's how efficient I am with Invective versus a Blade Dancer.
Right.
Found Verdict, it's like I have to gauge, is his health down enough? Like usually I'll take some shots at him. Now actually with the Thorn, it comes in really handy because the Thorn keeps him from regenerating.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time he gets to me, it's like, say hello to the Found Verdict. And they're gone. They're just a memory after that.
Shit. Secret handshake, man.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I need 10.
Yeah.
I need fucking 10 Vanguard marks and 1 commendation, which actually I'm really close to getting. And I will have that secret handshake.
Oh, I've gotten so many of those.
Secret handshakes. I definitely like that weapon. Like that is my as far as legendaries, like that shotgun, I really like that one. The rate of fire and the impact is really and even the range too. Like
Right.
Mhm.
it's a good shotgun.
Yeah, I've gotten quite a few of them just from leveling up my Vanguard.
Oh yeah,
I get a lot of that. And everybody's hated weapon from the newest hated weapon, coiled damn hiss.
Oh, dude, I don't even
The
want to use the gun because of the name. I don't even like the fucking name of that gun.
It's called.
Like,
You know what?
coiled
I call it
hiss.
coiled piss.
Yeah. Oh, dude. But the thing is, like, in terms of the Crucible, at least, like, in PvE, when the House of Wolves comes out, a lot of these weapons will be, you're right, they will be useless. But in terms of the Crucible, for regular Crucible, a lot of these older weapons will still be very, very viable. Very viable until the Iron Banner, and that's when you got to pull out the good shit.
and that's when it comes back to the idea you had before, where it should be two totally different games as far as weapons and armor
100%.
Yep.
100%.
for Crucible.
100% right.
Yeah, well, actually, one of the things that I see, with this leak is them talking about. I'm pulling it up right here. They have, where is it? Those are maps. Here we go. Inferno Clash, which is destroy the enemy, no trackers, which I guess that means radar, no trackers, and only kills earn points. So additional kills. I wonder if headshots will still give you extra points or not. But
No, it's meant to be old school style where a kill is a kill, no assist points.
okay, and that changes. That changes because if 2 or 3 people are hitting one guy, that's 200 points for a team.
Yeah.
The more people shooting somebody, the better it is for a team.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's have, there's a hardcore skirmish, which is revive teammates, no trackers, only kills earn points, same thing. And it looks like hardcore rumble, same thing. Inferno Clash. Inferno Control, which is captures only to increase points for every kill, no trackers, only kills earn points. It's the same thing. They're taking away trackers and taking away assists. I wanted a hardcore mode. I want hardcore modes. But here's the problem with taking away the tracker in the game's current state. Okay?
Yeah, it is.
No fucking footsteps.
Yes.
Like, literally, basically, you have no fucking footsteps. And on top of that, one thing that's going to happen with this game for sure is you're going to have camp fests. Like, people are going to camp in corners with shotguns and shit like that. That's basically, what it's going to be it. What I think they should do in the game's current state is if you're crouched, you are off. I shouldn't say that. Like, I think the radar should glow. You know how when you're crouched, you glow? The radar just glows, like, it doesn't stay up?
Yeah.
I think the radar should be like that permanently.
Mm.
In the game's current state, it'll be different if you can hear footsteps or hear things, movement.
Yeah.
But you
Like,
can't hear movement.
I would like to have some type of audio beacon where you could kind of, okay, your left speaker, somebody's on your left, and then the closer they get, the louder it gets. Like, that type of thing I think would be kind of dope for maybe a hardcore mode, or even in regular, if they just designed it like that, I think that would be dope.
And even that's the thing, like, without that, it's gonna make the Crucible frustrating. The fact that everybody's wearing fucking ninja socks running around these maps.
I guarantee you're going to see a lot of hunters in that mode.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, invisibility, plus the fact that you can blade dance invisible. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. That is a huge deal. That'll be a huge fucking deal. But that's the thing, like, not being able to hear people near you. That's like, how many times are people just gonna run into each other in doorways?
Oh.
Shotguns are gonna be king in that mode. I predict fusion rifles are going to take a dip, and then they're gonna come out and nerf fucking shotguns because nobody's using fusion rifles for those modes.
Even though those shotguns are getting buffed massively in the next update.
Yeah.
For PvE anyway.
But fusion rifles, when people use them, a lot of it has to do with them seeing that people are coming on radar.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't see people coming on radar. Having a fusion rifle is going to be more of a problem. But I think you're going to see people just running around with shotguns, and then as soon as they see somebody pulling the trigger.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a problem now with not that it's a problem, but that's the thing about shotguns now. Like, people just pull up and just buck at you. Like, even if you have a fusion rifle, like, I mean, you can win in a range fight with a shotgun with a fusion rifle, but up close is no contest. Like
Oh yeah.
they're just popping you. Like it's a wrap. Like I struggle some matches. I'm like, yo, do I want to use a shotgun or do I want to use a fusion rifle? Because it really depends on the map which one you're going to use.
Mm-hmm.
See, for me, it depends on if I see a lot of hunters or not.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely makes you want to switch it out because you see those hunters, you're like, yo, I don't even want to risk charging something against a blade dancer.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what do you guys think of the leak for the new raid?
So, the leak.
The name and the description indicate that it's going to be a very different raid. It might not even be your typical story style raid.
Oh, the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you think they're just gonna put you up against challenges?
Well, when you're looking at the, in fact, let me take a look at it right now. What is the not explanation, but here we go. The arena, test yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think it might be more like a gauntlet type thing. I know they're not. There's no way they're gonna put you in one place and just expect you to stay there and have waves of fucking enemies coming at you or anything like that.
Are you sure about that?
They might be idiots and do that. I think that'll be a bad idea.
I mean, think about that one level with the Dark Below expansion. Well, DLC.
Yeah.
But that one level with what you know what level I'm talking about?
Yeah, Siege of the Warmind.
Yeah, exactly. Like think if there was a raid like that, just expanded.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like they would have even if you.
I will say this though.
Go ahead.
That I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just gonna say that is actually one of my favorite levels from the new DLC.
It's the best level from the new DLC.
Oh yeah, I hated it at first, but now I really enjoy it now. Like at first I was like, damn. Like I mean, I liked it because of the challenge.
It's still a little bit difficult. I mean, it's not you just run in there and cakewalk. No, like you got to plan it out because you're gonna get surrounded real quick.
Oh yeah, the first time we walked in there, we got put in our place because before that mission, we were doing every mission on 30, and we weren't 30. That was the thing. Like, we weren't 30. We were like, I don't think I was like 28, and he was 29. Yeah. And we was like, fuck it, we'll do it on 30. We beat the fucking Nexus Mine on fucking like with arc burn, with solar burn on 30, and we're not even at level. What the fuck is this level gonna do? And we got put in our place.
Right. Exactly.
Got put down. Yeah, I mean, like the thing is, like they can't just have enemies flooding in. Like the arena itself has to change. It has to switch up, or it also won't really be worth. It'll be boring, in my opinion.
I mean that's why I'm kind of afraid for the new raid because I almost see them doing something like that, where you're kind of in. Did you play the new Zelda?
No, I didn't. You mean Hyrule Warriors?
No, for the 3DS.
Oh, no, I didn't.
I haven't played it.
The reason I bring that up, there's one of the end game things that you can do. Pardon me. Is there's a challenge tower, where you're basically going up against a different challenge. Like you clear out the room, go up a level. Clear out the room, go up a level, and it just gets harder and harder and harder and then at the last one, you got 3 insane bosses just trying to go after you and then take you out. I could easily see that being the format. Just, for example, every single time it changes. Like the raid is never the same. It's something different every single time. Like, for example, one room, only 2 guardians this time, going up against, I don't know, 50, Fallen, and Arc Burn, all out of nowhere. It's like, go. And how would you feel about something like that?
I'm trying to think. I mean, like, oh, you mean like doing 2 guardians at a time, or they put 2 guardians in different rooms? No,
just something where it's not the same raid every single time, and it completely changes. And it's not, for example, one of the nice things about, I mean, based on who you talk to, anyway, it gave Destiny somewhat of a story. Yeah, was it a clear story? Probably not. But at least, I mean, everything about the raid was you're going to stop Crota. You're finally banishing him from appearing on Earth. But when you read the Grimoire card, you actually really find out that Crota doesn't exist on this natural plane. When you're going into the moon, you're not really going into the moon. You're actually going to Crota's dimension.
Right.
He's kind of like Dormammu, which is why people were always like, how do you fight Crota when you actually banished him? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, you banished him from this plane. You didn't banish him from his realm. You're going into his realm to completely kill him.
Right.
Like that's the whole story about that, and a lot of people don't realize that until they
gotta read the fucking Grimoire cards,
which is
out.
which is dumb. They should have put.
You know what I accepted? You go to the moon, you fall down a hole.
Mm-hmm.
You fight Crota. Like that's the level of story that I accepted. I was totally good with that.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure a lot of people get that as well. In fact, they think that they're in the center of the moon when they're really in a separate dimension.
Right.
But I digress. The reason I bring that up is even the first raid, it was kind of weird, but it was incorporated in the story. I mean, when you complete the one mission about the I know what
you're talking about, the archive.
Right. He's talking about the Vault of Glass and how it's something that the Vex have created to store some of their stuff. And you finally get to go into the Vault of Glass, and here you are fighting off against the entirety of the Vex power.
Right.
And then over here you have Crota. You're actually going to fight the big bad booty daddy himself to take him down. Yeah, I'm going with Scott Steiner right there. And you got to take him down before he can get his stuff together so that he actually invades Earth. You know, it's if you have an arena style, do you really have a story there, or is it more like, well, we kind of gave up on the story?
I don't know. Maybe it's like, well, I know part of the story is like, well, supposedly the leak it says that part of the story is that the queens fallen have betrayed her, and now they have like a new Kel, and maybe you have to fight in the arena to prove that you're worthy of fighting the Kel, and the last boss is the Kel. You gotta kill him.
Right, or maybe just do 2 raids, and then that raid is just like that extra strike they added, where it's just like it's just there.
If that was the case, I wouldn't even make that a raid per se, but something entirely on its own.
Right.
Like a way to make it so you can get damn Glimmer from something else besides doing story missions.
Right.
There's no reason for you not to get Glimmer in raids. I mean,
that's true.
I mean, Destiny didn't want people to do loot caves, but yet they're allowing people to play Exclusion Zone to their heart's content to get Glimmer.
Right.
What? like at least make it so that people can do an activity with other people. Yeah, they might not be getting, for example, raid weapon, but at least they can get gold and they can do something else. I mean, if you could actually get Glimmer from those enemies in a raid, I guarantee you wouldn't have so many people going to Exclusion Zone or killing the same 3 Hive mages at the beginning.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
I guess, I don't know, at this point we just have to wait and see what happens. Bungie isn't saying yes or no. They just said, don't trust what you hear, but I could even be like, oh shit.
You know what I'd like to see?
They look like they got caught with their pants down and they're trying to play.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't it. We promise.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, hopefully, the fact that this stuff was leaked means, Bungie's like, well, fuck. Now we gotta do something else. We gotta add something to this.
Right.
So maybe, hopefully, because from what I've saw, it doesn't look like enough for me to get it. I mean, I did hear some rumors that they were gonna make some additional changes to Crucible besides what was on here, but I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
it honestly looks like they're really scared from the reaction that people had to Dark Below,
Right.
and they know that they have to change certain things because they realize it's really not enough. I mean, this is supposed to be a 10-year project, and it's already floundering a little bit, and it's not even
Yeah.
year one.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yo,
That's not a good sign. And as I mentioned previously in the previous episode, I honestly believe that this game, Destiny 1, is just a giant beta for what they want to do later on. But man, can you throw in a little bit more?
Yeah. And the
Right.
thing is, like, if this doesn't go well, like, if people lose interest, like there's a good chance that they won't get involved with that with the second one.
Right. Exactly. And that's what worries me because I think, like we said last time, I think if they were to make a Destiny 2 and really build off of what they've done here, like they can make an incredible game. Like it'll be crazy.
They could.
That's why I'm really. Don't get me wrong. I am looking forward to the House of Wolves, but my eye has already focused on this the fall release because
Oh yeah.
it has
Yeah.
to be gigantic.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to get destroyed.
Yeah,
Right.
that has to be significant. I just wanted to say real quick, like back to the topic of raids. Like, I would like to see the team, like since Bungie wants to take this, this community approach where there's no matchmaking. Everybody, we want you to get together and make your, your group or your raid, like from people that you have some type of, you got with them some kind of way.
Right.
Like I would like to see the raid get split up. Like the first raid, the Vault of Glass, where we have 3 that go to each planet. And it's like, okay, we're on this planet, we have to do this. Like, I would like to see like the raid split up and then get back together. Like, let's say there's a certain part where the raid where teams of 2 have to go out and complete these tasks and beat these enemies, and then at the end we all join up back together. I would like to see something like that come together with a raid. I think that would be.
That'll be pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on. I guess you got comms and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but fire team chat is limited, but you could always use party chat. But like that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I like to see that. Like, okay, there's 3 paths. Two take each path, and we have to complete a certain level number of tasks to get to the end where we all join back up together and fight this epic boss or
Or
something
you
like
have
that.
to do something on each path to get somebody on another path past where they need to go.
Right, exactly. Right. Some type of teamwork where you get split up and then you come back together and just to make it seem like an epic mission. Because I mean, like that first raid, I think, I mean, we just talked about that, but I think it kind of exceeds what they did with Crota just because of the different elements that they have. Like,
Yeah, 3 stay outside, 3 go inside.
right, exactly. And that really takes that teamwork to, I mean, just from doing it, when we just did it the other day, like we were like, yo, like it takes, some practice to get it together. You know what I mean? And I don't see that with Crota. Like Crota is just like when you going hard from what I've heard, it's just enemies. Like that's the main thing. It's not really strategy.
Right.
It's just the shit's just hard. You know what I mean? Like there's really no way to really outthink it. It's just like, yo, you just have to really move really cautious. I mean, just like with some of the nightfalls, like, when we do the nightfall, it's like, okay, sometimes we just have to turtle it. It's you know what I mean? It's not really strategy or anything like that. It's just like, yo, we just have to take our time and just go through it instead of trying to figure out different ways to attack these enemies. It's like I would like to see more strategy come into play, where you really have to consider who you go into a raid with more instead of just like, okay, these players are good. It's like, yo, we have to communicate well to get through this raid.
Right. I like that idea.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
That'd be cool. You know what we should do one time? We should conceptualize like these ideas, like conceptualize a raid, conceptualize what the perfect hardcore mode is.
Yeah,
we could do.
I mean, what I would like to see is a raid based on a war between two enemies. For example, you get if you want to go back and do the whole thing where it's the Vex versus the Cabal.
Well, the Vex versus everybody because they did not give a shit about nobody.
They definitely don't.
Yeah.
But like play a raid on that where like you have to take over a Cabal warship to attack a giant Vex that appears out of nowhere.
You're still gonna lose because you took a Cabal warship.
No, but like something like that where like 3 people have to go take care of a ship, like commandeer the ship. The other 3 are trying to get some stuff for the Vex, and then they all converge on this one giant battle where it's all these Cabal and Vex going after each other, and the whole goal is to like take down the resurrection of, I don't know, Atheon or some sort of, if you don't want to bring in Atheon, I'm just using that as an example.
Right.
But like some sort of Vex major brain guy or whatever. Or Vex, cause they were talking about Vex gods, about, hey, a robot is completely logical and they are turning to worship.
Right.
Like, does that make any sense? Why are they turning to worship?
Right.
What is going on with these Vex gods? And all of a sudden you see the reason why the Vex are worshiping this god, because he's completely obscenely powerful, and the one thing that can take him down is something that the I don't know, that the Cabal were working on for a long time, a planet destroying weapon that you have to activate in certain phases with certain people doing certain things inside the actual gun.
Yeah.
You know, something cool like that where like you're all working together. You're all firing upon this massive boss that's about to destroy you if you don't take him down within a certain amount of time, or where if you don't work as a team. You know, something cool like like an enemy versus enemy war kind of strike.
Right.
I mean, not strike, but raid.
That'd be cool. Yeah, actually, I think I like that idea of maybe conceptualizing this stuff, because that idea you had right there was awesome. The idea Sage had was really awesome too.
Right. You know what I like to see too? I like to see like the warships play like a bigger role too. Like right now they just they come in, they fire a couple shots, drop some enemies off, and they fly away.
They're going to be a big part of the strikes, I know, in the new DLC.
That's what I want. I want to see those ships like really, like I would like. I mean, I don't really know about maybe a certain part of a raid that could be like one of the sections where you have to fight a ship or something like that. But I mean, just to have, I mean, because I mean, even, you know, it's kind of cool like when you see like a public event and this huge ship just comes out and then it drops off like the smaller ships, but it's like that's just a public event, like it's just something small.
Like you see a catch like fly by.
Right, exactly. Like why didn't they expand on that particular, like, because the thing is huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like why not put that in the game in a more significant role?
Yeah, besides that one mission where you go on a catch.
Yeah, where it's like,
but even then, that catch is completely, it doesn't do anything. It's just chilling,
just sitting there.
It's just parked. Like they just parked it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, when we were reading the descriptions, I already told you guys, like, the one thing I'm really excited for is a strike, just based on the description, where you're going up against the walkers, and and one of the best enemies that only happens, or that you only really have to fight once, is those walkers, where it's a completely different method where I mean, you don't have to work as a team, but for example, one person gets in position to shoot the neck, the other people go after the legs and blows it up, and then you all keep doing damage to the neck until it blows up. I mean, it's a completely different type of enemy where it's a 2-part thing instead of just, oh, there's the head, shoot it. Oh, there's the chest, shoot it.
Right. Yeah, it'd be pretty awesome.
So I'm kind of looking forward to that strike just based on the description.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think we should do like a special edition and maybe do like conceptualize one of the ideas all the way through, start to finish. How you start, how you go through, what you gotta do, what the challenges are. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
To lay that all out.
I think if something drops next month, I think it would be a perfect time after that drops to really go. I mean, because then we get to see kind of like where they're going more, with the next release they put out.
Right. We don't have to wait for them to drop something. We can fucking conceptualize whenever we want to. It's America, goddamn.
Well, let's do it, damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with it.
Yeah, we'll schedule. We'll do a special edition, and we'll wrap this one up because this one definitely went a bit longer than I expected.
Yeah.
Even though, like I said, it's a monthly podcast, so it's not going to be as short as the Mashcast. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, thank you for listening to the first episode of In Orbit. Besides this podcast, this is going to be our fourth podcast. This is our fourth active podcast right now. We also have the Mashcast, which is weekly. You'll catch that every Monday. We have WoW Talk, which is bi-weekly, and that usually comes out on Tuesday, every other Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. We also have another monthly podcast for fighting games called Double Tap. Almost forgot the name of it there for a second. So we got Double Tap that comes out once a month. We just released a new episode of Double Tap last week, so you can check those out.
Oh, let me tell you, if you're only double tapping once a month, you ain't doing it right. You get it? I made a dirty joke.
Yeah, I get it.
So clever.
Yeah, so right now the way to get this podcast is on SoundCloud. If you're listening to it through some other means, soon in the future, probably after the third episode or so, will be on iTunes, and you can just subscribe that way. But like I said, thanks for listening, guys, and we will catch you next month, hopefully.
Laters.
Definitely. Oh, before we leave, I want to just shout out Dark Spell because they definitely hold it down.
All right, guys, later.
Take it easy.